The mysterious guardian of the forbidden stream had disappeared, and Chinedum discovered something she left behind. What in here? Episode 10 of our story and the last episode. Let's see what happened. The night after the old woman vanished from the forbidden stream, nobody in Omaka slept peacefully. Fear and sadness spread across the village like cold harmattan wind. Even the forest itself felt different. Too quiet, too empty. Villagers gathered in small groups, whispering nervously. Will the stream still remain safe? What if the forest became angry? Who truly was that woman? No one had answers. Inside the mansion, Chinedum sat silently near the fire. The room was large and beautiful, yet his heart felt painfully heavy. He could still hear her voice clearly. Those words echoed inside him repeatedly. Papa Nana sat nearby, watching him carefully. You should rest. Chinedum shook his head slowly. How can I rest? His voice sounded broken. She disappeared before my eyes. The old man sighed deeply. Some people enter our lives only long enough to change us. Tears gathered again inside Chinedum's eyes. I never even thanked her properly. Silence filled the room. Then softly, Papa Nana spoke again. Perhaps the best gratitude is living by what she taught you. Those words entered Chinedum's heart quietly, but the pain still remained. Because for the first time since leaving his uncle's house, he felt alone again. The next morning, thick fog covered Omaka. The villagers moved quietly through the roads. Even children played less noisily. The disappearance of the mysterious guardian had unsettled everybody deeply. As Chinedum walked through the village, greeting people politely, many villagers stopped him respectfully. A woman carrying firewood bowed slightly. Thank you for helping my family. An elderly farmer held his hand gratefully. Your kindness brought hope back to this village. Chinedum smiled softly each time. But inside, his heart still felt troubled. Later that afternoon, he decided to visit the forbidden stream again. Alone. Papa Nana tried stopping him. My son, perhaps you should wait. But Chinedum shook his head gently. I need to see the place once more. The old man studied him carefully. Then finally nodded. Be careful. The journey towards the forest felt strangely emotional. Every path reminded Chinedum of the night his suffering changed forever. The cold darkness, the fear, the loneliness, and then the kindness of the old woman. As he walked deeper into the forest, memories surrounded him completely. He remembered the first warm meal she gave him, the way she spoke softly to him, the peace inside her tiny heart. Without realizing it, tears slowly rolled down his cheeks. I miss you, he whispered quietly. The wind moved gently through the trees as though listening. Soon the forbidden stream appeared ahead, but immediately Chinedum noticed something different. The glowing light beneath the water had disappeared. The stream now looked peaceful, ordinary, silent. A strange sadness entered his heart. Slowly, he stepped closer to the water. Mama, he called softly. No answer came. Only the quiet sound of moving water. Chinedum lowered his head painfully. Then, suddenly, something caught his attention. Near the edge of the stream sat a small wrapped bundle covered with white cloth. His heartbeat increased immediately. Slowly, he approached it. Inside the bundle was a carved wooden box, and attached to it was a message written carefully on old cloth. Chinedum's hand trembled as he opened it. The message read, "My child, if you are reading this, then my journey has ended. Do not cry for me. The forest only borrowed my presence for a season. Now it is your turn to become light for others. Remember this always. Gold feeds the body, but kindness saves souls. You once suffered greatly and helped them. That is the greatest treasure. And that is my final gift to you." By the time Chinedum finished reading, tears were already falling freely down his face. He pressed the message tightly against his chest. And for the first time, he finally understood. The old woman never cared about wealth. She cared about hearts. Slowly, Chinedum opened the wooden box. Inside was something unexpected. Not gold, not diamonds, not silver. Instead, there was a small necklace made from shining white stones, and beneath it, another message. "This belonged to your mother." Chinedum froze instantly. His breathing stopped briefly. What? His hands shook violently now. He quickly continued reading. "Long before you were born, your mother once helped a stranger inside this same forest. That stranger was me. Your kindness began before you even entered this world. The goodness inside you did not appear suddenly. It lived inside your bloodline. Never forget who you are." Chinedum collapsed to his knees beside the stream, crying openly. All his life, he believed his parents had been forgotten. But somehow, the old woman had known them, known his mother, known the kindness that once lived inside his family. Suddenly, every act of kindness he received from her made sense. It was not random. It was connected to something much deeper, something bigger than treasure. The wind moved softly around him, and for one brief moment, he felt warmth near his shoulder, almost like someone standing beside him lovingly. Chinedum closed his eyes tightly. "Thank you," he whispered emotionally. The stream flowed peacefully before him, and though the old woman was gone, her presence still felt alive inside the forest. Hours later, Chinedum returned to Omaka carrying the wooden box carefully. Papa Nan immediately noticed the tears in his eyes. "My son," Chinedum handed him the message silently. The old man read it slowly. When he finished, his old hands trembled. "So, she knew your parents?" Chinedum nodded emotionally. Papa Nana looked towards the sky quietly. The goodness of one generation protected the next. Word quickly spread across the village about the message. Soon, villagers gathered around Chinedum's mansion again. But this time, nobody came because of treasure. They came because something deeper had touched their hearts. Days turned into weeks turned into months, and slowly, Chinedum transformed Omaka completely. He built a large marketplace where struggling traders could sell goods freely. He repaired damaged roads leading into the village. He provided food regularly for widows and children. He sponsored young people who wanted to learn skills. And every time villagers thanked him, he always answered the same way. Kindness must continue moving forward. One evening, during a village gathering, Papa Nana stood before the crowd, smiling proudly. When this boy first arrived in my hut, the old man began emotionally. He carried pain in his eyes. The villagers listened quietly. He had every reason to become bitter. Papa Nana looked towards Chinedum warmly, but instead he chose kindness. Several villagers nodded emotionally. The old man raised his voice slightly, and that choice changed all of Omoaka. The crowd burst into joyful celebration. Music filled the air. Women danced happily. Children laughed around the fire. For the first time in many generations, peace truly lived inside the village. Chinedum walked alone outside the mansion. The moon shone brightly above the village. Soft wind moved peacefully through the trees. Then suddenly he heard it. A familiar whisper carried gently by the wind. My child. Chinedum froze instantly. Slowly he turned towards the distant forest. And there, for one brief moment, he saw the outline of the old woman standing beneath the trees, smiling softly. No fear entered his heart, only peace. Tears gathered gently in his eyes. I will continue helping people, he whispered. The wind moved softly again, almost like approval. Then, slowly, the figure disappeared into the moonlight. Years later, people still told stories about orphan boy of Umuaka. Parents taught their families the lessons from Chinedum's life. That was the end of episode 10 and the end of this story. What did you learn from this story? If you had watched it from episode 1 to the end, what do you have to say about this story? Thank you for watching, and do well to subscribe to my channel for more of these stories. Thank you.